Audio is now on.
Okay. It is 6:33. I'm calling this special meeting to order the Class 2 ambulance fee budget hearing. Today's December 15th, 2020. So do we have any public comments? No, there's no public comment. Are there any members of the public on the call?
It wouldn't be on the call, but I can tell you if anybody's viewing.
Okay.
And
No.
it looks like just us.
Okay. Well, even still, Director Kaiser is going to do the presentation, and so it goes into the record, and it is duly recorded. Okay, Director Kaiser?
Okay. Good evening. This is a JCESA FY22 budget request. Just to recap, the FY21 budget recap, funding sources, general fund, $2,622,847, the ambulance fee, $936,973, for a total $3,586,820, which includes 89% of that is labor and 11% are your non-labor supplies, utilities, maintenance, repairs, EMS supplies, and professional services and insurances. Yes, ma'am.
I just have a question on the asterisk disclaimer at the bottom that you have. JCESA after ambulance fee administration. What is that?
That's correct. The remittance after the amount for the total ambulance fee is for the administrative fees for the person who collects the ambulance fee. It also covers any of that salary. It also covers anything from faxing, computers to office fees. And then we receive the remainder after that's taken off the top.
Do we know the difference between what's collected in the ambulance fee and what you guys actually receive? Like, what are we paying this administrative cost?
I don't have it in this presentation, but we do have it.
We have it, yes.
Okay, I'm just curious. And so that administrative cost comes out before is what I hear you saying? You receive the ambulance fee? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Hey, take it off the top.
Okay, comes directly off. The FY22 budget requests, 3 areas: maintenance of effort, 7 additional field staff, and 2 replacement vehicles. Maintenance of effort, projected increases, the total would be $105,710. Projected increases in workers' comp, health insurance, and to continuation of the maintenance pay table, which was approved in FY19, which maintains a career ladder for the employees here at the ESA. 7 additional full-time positions. The following staff, we're following the staffing plan that was approved. And based on that, we looked at staffing needs on the data report, the sequence plan, and we want to eliminate, most importantly, 1 person staffing. It will improve response time and reduce any of the safety risks that we have. So that would be looking at Station 3, filling out that position with 3 positions at night, and we'll give you staffing 24 hours a day, a 2-person medic unit, an additional staff at Station 1, an additional staff Station 7, additional staff at Station 6. That would eliminate the 1-person staffing. With that being said, we're moving into the 2 replacement vehicles. We are with our continuation of the capital replacement plan for the vehicles. This began 2 years ago with our budget. It's, again, continue to upgrade our fleet. The median age obviously is at 10 years, and the median mileage is between 95,000 and over 100,000 miles on these vehicles. Maintenance of other vehicles continue to be an issue, and for each vehicle purchased, 1 will be decommissioned. Again, this is from the capital outlay fund. The FY22 budget request, a review again on what is being requested. Maintenance of effort, cost of increases to maintain the pay scale, $105,710. Additional staffing, $627,589. The total FY22 annual operating budget request, all above, $4,293,119. The FY22 Jefferson County CIP request for the two vehicles, $60,000 each, $120,000. That's our budget request for FY22.
Okay, so I just want to thank you, Director Kaiser. I just want to make note that we do have a confirmed quorum, and that concludes the ambulance fee hearing. Just as a formality, we do need to wait until 7 o'clock to conclude this meeting. So it will automatically adjourn at 7 o'clock, at which time I will adjourn the regular meeting. So, Mr. Berner, do you need to, can you just
Turn us off.
turn us off? And we'll be back in 20 minutes.
Well, can you tell me if there's anyone that wants to make public comment? This is Jane Tab.
There isn't anybody else on the line except for us, so.
Okay, well, I think perhaps it's best to keep it open in case somebody tunes in late and wants to make a public comment. That's just my,
Okay. All right. Duly
I mean-
noted and fair enough, so we will.
All right, thanks.
Mhm.
Fox is on. Can you mute us?
View the audio.
Yes.
Excellent.
Yes, sir.
Great. The meeting for the ambulance fee is hereby adjourned. And I'm calling to order the regular Jefferson County Emergency Services Agency meeting. And it is 7 o'clock. Call to order. We have a confirmed quorum. And so we also have a roll call. Has anybody joined? So we got Ronnie, we got Jane, we got Dr. Treese, and we got Tony. Hi, Tony. All right, so who's going to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Next order of business is approval of the minutes. Any discussion about the minutes? Any questions? Any proposed amendments?
I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes as read.
We have a motion to approve by Bob. Do we have a second? Oh,
I'll second.
okay. Any further discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Minutes are hereby approved unanimously. Which brings us to the treasurer's report, and the only board member not here tonight is the treasurer. So in lieu of and assisted by Director Alan Kaiser, it is going to be presented by Director Alan Kaiser.
All right, this is the Jefferson County Emergency Services Agency financial summary for FY21 as of November 30th. FY21 commission allocations as follows: general fund JCESA $2,622,847, ambulance fee $936,973, for a total of $3,559,820. The breakdown for the bank account balances are: general $648,661, payroll $124,882, ambulance fee $504,097, and the mortgage $77,664. The breakdown, as you can see on the sheet that was sent to you, we are running under year to date under budget at $18,647. If you look at the labor outfit, and again, the only area everything is running under, as you can see in the columns. If you look at the labor wheel, as we move forward where we're at in percentages, we had a couple things that played a role in the overtime. We're at 3.4%. We like that 3% areas where we like to stay around. Election Day and Vet Day were the holidays, which occurred over 5%. We had military leave, which at 2%. We had a technician off the floor for military leave, and all vacancies are filled at 100% at this time. That's where we're at for the financial report for the month of November 3rd.
Thank you, Director Kaiser. Any questions? All right, do we have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve the treasurer's report is read.
From Bob.
Second.
Second from Tricia. Any further discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Passes unanimously. Please make a note that Nathan Cochran has joined. And, oh, Twiggy's on also. Okay, good. All right. So that brings us to the chairman's report. There's nothing on the agenda. I just wanted to make a note that we did have an applicant for the open board seat, and he appeared at the last Jefferson County Commission, and for some reason, the decision was tabled for the January meeting, so I just wanted to bring everybody up to date. And that applicant is going to show for the January meeting with the Jefferson County Commission, and so that will fill the seventh seat. All right, so there's nothing here for the FRA report. Is Ronnie, is there anything you wanted to comment on?
Yeah, just something. First of all, this is going to be my last meeting with you guys. Chief Morgan takes over in January, so he'll be the representative for the Fire Rescue Association starting in January. I just want to tell you I appreciate everything you've done for us this year. I think we got some initiatives off the ground that I think we can continue to move forward. Chief Morgan did email me last night. They didn't have enough. I didn't have a quorum to have a meeting this month, but they did have some discussion on the presentation to the new county commission. They're shooting for some time in mid-January for that. They're waiting on some financials from I think 2 of the departments yet. But other than that, that's all I have.
Well, you fed back a little bit, but I heard almost everything of what you said is that this will be the last meeting. Thank you for your great contributions to the ESA meetings, and wish you well. And what's the gentleman's name who's
Chief Morgan.
Chief Ross
Chief-
Morgan from
Chief
Shepherd.
Oh, okay. So, okay, great. All righty. Well, we certainly all know who Mr. Morgan is. All right. Thank you, Ronnie.
Yes, sir.
Really appreciate that. Okay. All right. So then that brings us to the director's report. Director Kaiser.
All right, thank you, sir. The FY20 auditor's report, you've had copies provided by Debbie. If you're here, you have them in person. If you're at home, online, you should have them in your email. And you'll see that we certainly did very well in our audit review for FY20. The FY20 budget proposal, board members, you were provided your packets. You were provided 2 presentations of the FY22 request. And I think now it requires your discussion and a vote on that, sir, to go forward to the county commissioners.
All right. So this is the
FY22 budget. Right here.
Got it. Okay. So we all heard the presentation that Alan provided during the ambulance hearing meeting. So are there any questions or comments regarding that presentation? All right. Hearing none, do I have a motion to approve?
I make the motion to approve the agenda class 2 ambulance fee budget request for the JCESA.
It's a-
21.
Okay, it's actually the fiscal year 22 budget request.
All right, 22.
Yep.
My apologies.
No problem. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, Treasurer Simpson will second it. Any further discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? It passes unanimously. All right. Are there any comments or questions for any other aspects of the director's report.
I'm not finished.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Next level, no, you're fine. Next level is the decommissioned vehicle, disposal. That's under discussion action. Car 11, which is the 2004 Ford Explorer, and the Serve 11, which is the 2007 pickup, to be decommissioned. They're going to be decommissioned, as well as that bus that sits out here. Once all training is done with that, that bus will be also totally decommissioned and moved from the lot. Again, your process is discussion on how you would like the disposal process to go by, either seal bids or donation, or what you need to do as far as the board, what you'd like to do with it. When the ambulances were, the one ambulance was was disposed of, it was put out on sealed bids, is how they did it, the board.
Anybody have any thoughts on whether it should be a sealed bid or not?
So I think that's a valid option. I think if that's worked well for us in the past, it might not hurt to do. There's somebody interested in it, and it might, something that we could, in turn, use that funding towards, for the agency. Great idea.
I concur.
Well, and by, state statute, we can either donate it or put it up for sale in some manner. The sheriff has had sales, but that's really not possible right now with COVID. So I think sealed bids are the best way to go. And we can always, if we don't think they're adequate, we can, we don't have to accept the lowest one. We can rebid, put it back out to bid if we're not satisfied with any of the offers we get. So I agree. I think a sealed bid is the way to go.
Okay, so in essence, it's a sealed bid auction.
Sure, and you can set it, you can start a starting bid or a minimum bid, right? Yeah, no, I think that's a good idea.
All right, any further discussion on this? Can I get a motion on this?
So moved.
Okay.
Second.
We got a first and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Passes.
Still moving on.
Yep, passes unanimously.
Okay, so the Tuberculosis Foundation grant request, we should know by early January. We did put in a request for right around 11,600, Debbie. And that was again for related EMS equipment that relates toward any type of your respiratory, anything to do with cardiac, and also some things that we may need for restraint of patients or transport of patients. So the total request was 10,364, but I really think it was a little bit more, but it's pretty close. So attached is a copy of the details for that, and we have to do that for the Tuberculosis Foundation, but I have been in contact with the chair, and everything looks very favorable for their January meeting when it comes about. So we're waiting on that to come back. The Jefferson County Chamber of Commerce 2020 Public Service Honorees announced a Zoom invitation event video is ready for presentation. That will be, the Zoom is scheduled for Thursday, December 20th at 5:30 p.m. You have that in your packets. You're welcome to sign on to that. As far as the details and all, we'll guide you through. It'll be on our Facebook page, and you'll be able to go through and look at that if you want to watch it. We do have two paramedic that will be receiving an award, and one of our fire technicians will be receiving the fire award. So one for medical, one for fire. So we're very honored that we have two that are going to be placed on the plaque and honored here in Jefferson County. EMT firefighter Dave Swan is scheduled to retire on Thursday, December 31st. We do have a card for, Debbie has that going around to sign. I would love to have each, and I know we're going through a tough time with COVID, but we have a card that we like to sign. And then any donations toward a gift card for him certainly would be something very nice to give to Dave. Right now, we can't honor him at a luncheon or a dinner or a get together because of our restrictions. but we'd like to do something for Dave. And then later on, if things do lighten up, we will do something for Dave, and wish him well in his retirement. Dave's been here for a long time. I'll have to defer to Bob. Is he the longest term employee here?
15 years, I believe.
15 years, here at the ESA. So it's a little over 15, and that's pretty honorable. And, Dave's been, in my 4 years and 3 years here as a director, he's been a really, really good, reliable employee and a friend, and he is smooth. So that's there for you to take a look at, and we'll get details out when we do something for him. I'll turn this over to Craig Horn. He's our Captain Compliance and Training Officer in reference to his live burn and extrication. that
Hey,
took place.
Alan, real quick, one thing.
Oh,
One bullet that we didn't hit was the staffing sequence plan. That you didn't hit.
That's
Down.
off the board. You can disregard that.
Okay,
Yep, thank you.
yep.
Captain Horn, you want to report on your live burn and vehicle extrication?
Yeah, last week, we kind of finished up our Fire 1 and 2 class that we put on over this fall months. We had several employees that needed it to maintain their employment here. It's required within a year that they get these classes. We kind of finished up the Fire 1 class with the live burn and the written test last Saturday. Chief Schutz was there. He kind of oversaw part of it. Zach Morgan oversaw a good piece of it. So they were directly involved with it. So had a great success. Had some newspaper articles, both in the Journal and in the Spirit of Jefferson, kind of covering both those events. Then on Sunday, we did some vehicle extrication across the street, which is part of the Fire 2 curriculum. So that all worked out really well. Getting ready for EMT class starting January 4th. So we'll continue on recruiting folks, and that's how we get a lot of our employees is through these classes.
Thank you, Captain. So as we continue forward with our training, not only here in the classroom, which is under COVID restrictions that we set up through with Dr. Treese, and but that's gone very well. Everybody's doing the right thing in these classes, and like I say, the Fire 1, Fire 2, and the EMT class successfully completed, and preparing for the next semester to come right out with another EMT class. So thank you very much, Captain Horn, for guiding that through. Accomplished well. That's my report for today, sir.
Thank you very much, Director Kaiser. Are there any questions regarding the director's report? Okay, that brings us to our next item, which is board member requests. There are none on the agenda. Does any board member have a request? Okay. Unfinished business, there is none. New business, we have nothing on the agenda. Is there any new business that anybody has that they might want to bring up? Okay, that brings us to public comment.
Yes, sir.
We have nobody who has signed up for public comment. So any further board member comments?
I do, Director. So I got, there's been a lot of talk lately in the county regarding Company 5. There's a lot of questions, a lot of concerns that I'm hearing as the fire rescue rep. Safety issues, whether it be the building, apparatus and equipment, response capabilities of their EMS units. Just got word apparently that they have 2 EMS units that were on CAD showing available. One of them happened to be out of county being repaired. I don't know. Something needs to be figured out. It's time to sit down and get with whether it be the board, Fire Rescue Association or something to figure out what's going on at Company 5. My worry and concern, honestly, is the safety of our people up there. They're sleeping in a trailer that's not at the fire station. There's limitations to that facility that obviously affects them or potentially can affect them. What I'd like to do, honestly, is I'd like to task the director and Captain Berner to do some investigating, fact finding. Let's figure out what's going on. Let's figuring out what's best for our people to make them safe, to make sure that they have the functional equipment, that they're safe in doing what they're doing. But there's stories of apparatus when they go to pull out the engine, pull a parking brake, and it rolls down the hill on them. There's a problem. That is not acceptable, okay, in any industry. Nevertheless, the people that work for us. So I would like to make a motion out of it for the Director Kaiser and Captain Berner to begin an investigation and fact-finding mission to see what we can do and get back to us as soon as possible to make sure our guys and gals are okay.
All right.
It's time to fix something.
So the motion is for Captain Berner and Director Kaiser to do a fact-finding regarding issues concerning Company 5. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
All right.
I second the motion.
All right. Any discussion? I
Yeah, I have an amendment to the motion.
Okay, Treasurer Simpson?
And the amendment is, if unsafe practices are found, we need to pull JCESA personnel out of response capability at that station.
Okay.
I'd be willing to change my request to mirror that.
So we now have an amended motion. We have a first, and do we have a second?
Second.
Second from Tricia Jackson. All right. Any further discussion?
This is Dr. Treese. I know I don't have voting privileges, but I just want to say I agree with what you're doing.
Thank you very much. And my comment then is, for this discussion here, is you had mentioned the FRA as perhaps getting involved. Now, I think I agree with you that we start with the fact finding from Captain Berner and Director Kaiser. But do you see a role for the FRA in this? And when is the next joint ESA FRA meeting contemplated?
So I do see a role, and I think the Fire Rescue Association and the ESA board actually have a huge role in the future of Jefferson County Fire Rescue EMS together. And that joint meeting, again, Ronnie and I had discussed it, and obviously I'll go with Ross, starting the first of the year, that there was some discussion, some issues and problems. That's why we look to delay that meeting. But I think once we get closer here, I think after the first of the year, we can start looking at some dates. I'll reach out to Ross for the Fire Rescue Association side. I'll reach out to the county commission as well, because I know we had discussion about meeting with the county commission component as well, and discussing with them on what we could do about getting a date here early 2021.
Okay.
I think the more that we, as the three entities work together, I think we can get things lined up in a direction that we want to function as an organization as a whole. Both ESA as well as the local fire rescue companies.
Okay. Thank you.
Do we want to place some type of time frame upon? I mean, I think we need to put a date on when we need this information.
Fact finding. Yeah, I agree with Tony because
I agree.
they service the biggest community in Jefferson County.
Sure. So what I would like to see something before the end of the year from Bob and Alan, at least a fact finding. I'd like to meet back here if we can, even if we have to pull an emergency meeting of just us, just to discuss what they they find and go from there. But it might take a little bit of time. You got to give them a couple of days ago, a week or two.
Well, what's your all's input on how quickly do you?
All right, so
Could give us until sometime like the very end of December or the first week of January.
that's what I'm thinking. So,
January to give them adequate.
so, all right, so then,
I think somebody was somebody trying to comment?
Tony, yes.
Yeah, if you're,
Oh, no.
your intention is to go down that road, in regards to fire apparatus and all that stuff, you're gonna need to get the fire marshal's office involved in that.
Okay.
Because that's why we do our reports and that's why we get funding from them, is to keep your equipment adequate and all that sort of thing. So,
Cool.
not really we can make Earl do as far as the Fire and Rescue Association. You're gonna have to get the fire marshal's office involved.
All right.
Okay.
And could I just mention, none of this is on the agenda. And because I'm looking ahead to people looking back at this entity and saying, you know, you took an action that wasn't on the agenda. I mean, I think that, that Commissioner Kaiser has the authority just as, just Director Kaiser has the authority just as being the director to investigate these issues and bring them back to you. I would suggest that he, I think that he understands the will of the board. I think that he probably, knowing him, has already been investigating some of these issues, although I don't know that. I think that perhaps if you want to move quickly, that we just schedule a special session at some point in early January and come back and have a report. Of course, it has to be a public meeting.
Sure.
Right, but I just want to make the point that even though this is not on the agenda, since it has to do with safety issues, and in essence, what we're doing is we are proposing a resolution, in essence, and it's not an action. A fact-finding, a request for fact-finding is not necessarily an action because we're not taking an action with the full weight of the authority of the board. This is simply a request or a resolution for a fact-finding.
Sure, and we can phrase it any way we want. It's just, I'm looking at trying to make it legally sound. If there are some challenges to your actions in the future. And that's why I think that Director Kaiser can certainly look into these issues. I believe that he knows the will of the board, or knows how the board is thinking. And then if we set some sort of special meeting early January, then I think that could be properly noticed. And then I'm just saying that leaves it with a legal foundation that is unassailable versus someone later saying that you took action without being authorized. That's just how I'm looking at it.
All right, so then I will then propose this motion that this board convene for a special meeting, and let's say normally we would meet the 19th of January. So how about that we meet on the 5th of January? Does that work? And in the interim,
Fire Rescue Association night.
oh, okay. The 12th? I'm trying to keep it on a Tuesday.
It's free.
To be
January
honest
12th.
with you,
I'm not available.
to be honest with you,
Yeah,
I really don't think we need to have a special meeting. If there is a safety issue and Alan and Bob find that there is a safety issue, the people should be pulled immediately, not wait for any meeting.
okay. That actually sounds pretty reasonable. So then why don't we phrase the motion this way? That we request that Captain Berner and Director Kaiser do a fact finding with regard to safety issues at Company 5 and take appropriate action.
Okay, so
That
just
will be given to Bob.
that's the point of order.
Yeah.
Just a point of order of that. We currently have a motion on the table.
Yeah,
Right.
In order to do that, we need to rescind the
Right.
requested motion.
Correct.
And then we can pursue your motion.
or we can just simply amend your motion to that.
Sure, okay, as long as that's documented, that way,
Yeah.
you have a streamlined process and
Yeah.
and again,
Correct.
covering us legally.
All right.
And I'm going to make a further point of order. I don't think there should be any motion. There's been discussion, which is kind of bordering on the Open Meetings Act. But if you put a formal motion in the minutes, there's definite evidence that you've, violated the Open Meetings Act. Staff knows our concerns. They can proceed and deal with it appropriately. I think the motion should be rescinded and there not another motion be made.
And I tend to agree with that. And, I think any concerns that the director may have had, and I don't know of any that he had, but any concerns that he may have had about the board's kind of opinion on this, I think have been eased by the things that have been said so far. The director certainly has the authority to place his personnel where he believes is appropriate and safe.
All right. So then for the purposes of the minutes for this meeting, it will simply reflect that we had a discussion about safety concerns on Company 5, and we'll leave it at that.
Yeah, and which were raised in public comment. That, they were raised in public comment. The director is certainly going to go and investigate what was raised, I think.
Okay. Fair enough.
Sorry, but lawyer always is a wet blanket on every good idea. So just, that's how it is.
Well, I would just add that as medical director, that if there are any safety issues, that I fully support Director Kaiser reporting that to us or taking action.
All right. So duly noted and will be reflected in the minutes. All right. So we've now finished board member comments and we're at the adjournment part. So do I have a motion to adjourn?
Well, real quick, everybody, hope you guys all have a happy holiday, another good year. I think for the board wise, I think we came a long way this year. I think we accomplished a lot, and as a group, I think we worked pretty well and got through what we need to get through this year. Well, I thank you guys for everything.
I agree with you, Bob. This is a great group of people, and we seem to have the best interests of our community at heart. So thank you.
James, better hands.
Yeah. I would just like to make a comment about Craig Horn's training classes and the excellent newspaper coverage. I don't know how you managed that or who was responsible, but it was certainly well received and very good articles. So I was very pleased to see that.
All right. Any? Certainly.
Sorry.
No, you're fine.
Hey, everybody, this is Bob trying to talk through a mask here and it's not working out very well. We're at the end of the year here and I just want to say thanks to the board for giving us the support all year. Dr. Teresa as well, and Nathan, who we pester relentlessly. We couldn't do what we do without you guys. I really appreciate y'all. Just remember, December 25th is coming up and our folks out in the field are going to be out there doing what they do instead of being home with their families. So please just keep them in your thoughts and prayers that they have safe and healthy shifts and get to go home on the 26th and enjoy it. That's all. Thank you.
Great. Any further comments?
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Thank you.
Same to you.
Yeah.
So then I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
All right.
Do I get a second?
Second.
All right. All those in favor? Say aye.
Bye.
Aye. Thank you very much for your time. And this meeting is hereby adjourned. And the time is 7:34.
Merry Christmas. Happy New